Hi guys, how's it going? It's Sam here and welcome to another video. As you can see by this title, in this video I'm going to be giving you guys the exact formula for creating offers for marketing agencies that sell, not only allowing you to charge a heck of a lot more money, but also is going to give you a far better chance of your potential clients saying yes to your offer. And we're going to talk about no-brainer offers, guarantees, pricing structures, how to charge, how much to charge, how to craft the perfect offer. And for those who don't know, this video or this topic is taken from my last newsletter article that I wrote, which came out a couple of days ago, I think. So if you guys want to get, if you guys want to get in-depth, versions of these particular videos and potentially more content as well, it's free. It's always going to be free. You guys can sign up for my free newsletter. It's called Agency Club. So yeah, just head to the link in the description if you guys want to see more longer form content, more descriptional content. So I've got 3 articles I've written recently. One is about my top resources. One is about how to pick a niche for your marketing agency, and I go through a formula similar to the one in my last video about how to kind of figure out your niche and how to just find niches that are more profitable for you, give you more chance of success, and I give you my secret formula on how to do that. And yeah, the last one, which was 5 days ago actually, was the topic which we're going to cover in this video. So we're going to talk about how to create offers for your marketing agency. So those who don't know, my name's Sam. Myself and my business partner started a marketing agency in the home improvement space here in the UK about 3 years ago. We've done over £2 million in sales. We do anywhere from 50 to 75, 80,000 pounds a month in revenue. We have anywhere from 25 to 40 clients at any one time, and we do a whole lot of testing with pricing and offers, and a lot of that is what I'm going to be going through in this video. So I've kind of put together a little keynote which kind of goes through my main thoughts around this topic. So I'm going to play it and just go through it step by step. I'm just going to bring it down so you guys can see my face, and hover this myself up here in this corner so we can see. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to create the perfect no-brainer offer for your marketing agency. And I've got a few things here which I think you guys are going to find quite interesting. So the first rule about offer creation for agencies is you're not selling a service, you're selling a solution of some sort. You're selling an outcome, you're selling fixing a problem that your ideal customer or prospect has. So you're not selling Facebook ads, you're not selling Google ads, you're not selling website design. You are selling a solution, okay? And you need to understand that in 2022, if you're not some form of performance-based agency, you're not going to succeed. You're going to find it much, much harder to start out. You're not Ogilvy, you're not Ogilvy. You don't have, decades of experience and PR, and you don't have your foot in the door with massive corporations. Therefore, you need to be solving some sort of problem that your ideal customer has. So you need to get in your head, you're not selling a service, you are selling a solution. That's rule number one. And I have 2 examples here. So agency 1, their offer is 10 hours of time per month for £100 an hour. Now this is how it used to be years ago, 10, 20 years ago. This is how people sold services. And when the birth of Web 2.0, when websites were a new thing, this is what people sold. Now it doesn't work anymore. There's too much competition now. This should say agency 2, but agency 2, their offer is 20,000 in sales in 30 days guaranteed for £1,000 investment. Now which one are you going to choose? It's pretty obvious. And it doesn't matter whether this company does Facebook ads, email marketing, Google ads, social media posting, free report. It doesn't matter what they do. This is always going to be more compelling, and the end user doesn't care. As an agency owner, if an agency comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to get you 20 appointments a month with executives of 5 to 50 million pound a year, construction companies, and you're going to pay me 300 to 500 pounds for every booked appointment that I give you, and you don't pay if I don't give you any. I'm not going to go and say, hey, how are you generating them? Are you using Facebook ads? Are you using Google ads? I may ask those questions, but ultimately I don't really care because the offer's still there and the offer's really, really good. So no one cares. And I've given you one more example here, which is roofing, for example. This is kind of, we don't do exclusively roofing, but it's something I understand. So old model might have been, we'll design your website, we'll set up your Facebook ads, we'll get you 1 to 5,000 website views a month, we'll give you a weekly check-in call with one of our top level managers. free logo design, 3-month minimum commitment, 0 guarantees because no one can guarantee anything. And it takes 14 days to get set up, and we charge you £1,000 a month. Loads of services, right? Amazing. Only for £1,000? Crazy. The new model, though, which will... You tell me which one's going to sell better. Here's what you get as a roofer. 25 booked sales appointments per month. You only pay for confirmed appointments. 0 contracts, 5 guaranteed confirmed re-roofs a month with deposits paid. A minimum of £20,000 in sales. We deliver you leads within 72 hours, but our price is £2,500 a month. Which one do you think a roofer is going to be more compelled to? Even though this one's 250% more expensive, 150% more expensive. Well, you tell me, which one do you think the roofer is going to go for? Obviously, it's going to be this model here. So the whole point of this is you can charge a lot more money if you have a way of justifying that by, either having some insane level of results or having an offer, which is a complete no-brainer. And before I kind of move on, I'm going to give you guys one more example that I've come across, which is a company called Right Hook Digital. Now, you guys may or may not have heard of this company. They are a e-commerce company based out of, I believe, Australia. Now, these guys don't offer, as far as I'm aware, at least on the surface, don't offer like a crazy guarantee. Their ads are insane. If you guys get a chance, have a look at their Facebook ads. Just go to the ads library and take a look. But all you got to do is read these ads to see just how insane this is. So like, is your e-commerce store making at least 50k a month in online revenue and looking for accelerated growth like these brands? Sculpt Neon, 4.4 million in their first year. On-demand jewelry brand from 37k a month to 1.7 million a month. New winter product launch campaign driving 557,000 in sales in just 24 hours, over 40 times ROAS, 2.8 million. And you get the point. There's a whole ton of these, and each one of these ads is like a unique case study from a company. And if you go to their website, this is actually probably their landing page actually, and you scroll down, you can see listen to some of these case studies. And it's crazy. So, £40,000 a month to 1.6 million a month. Like, it's just so insane. They could charge 10 to 20 to 30k a month, and 90% of people are going to say yes because their results are literally ridiculous. So you don't always have to have an insane guarantee, but these guys are ultimately promising to grow these companies. It's performance driven service. Like, as far as I'm aware, I haven't got a clue what these guys are using. With Facebook ads, Google ads, it could be email marketing, could be content, TikTok. It doesn't really matter. The point is they're proving to you they grow your company, and that's ultimately what e-commerce companies want. If you're a website designer, you don't go to an e-commerce company and say, hey, I'd love to design your new product page. You go, hey, I've just taken a look on whatever conversion tracking software I'm using. I can see your product page converts about 2%. I can see you guys are spending, or you're getting over 2 million impressions a month on Facebook ads or TikTok ads. I can get your page from 2% to 4%, and you don't pay me until you make, we reach that target, or you pay me 5% of every extra sale you make over that 2% conversion rate. Whatever it is, that's a much better pitch than saying, hey, I can design you a better product page. It just sounds better. You guys get the point. I don't need to go into this any more detail, but that's just one example of a company that you guys can check out, and there's loads of companies. Like Gym Launch, for example, is a great one. And I took a lot of this stuff from Alex Hormozi's, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's something, I don't know what it is. I can't remember what this chart's called, but it's from his book, $100 Million Offers. Guys, let me know in the comments what this chart is called, as I can't remember. But essentially, this is the chart or graph or equation or whatever you want to call it. I think it's called the value equation, actually. This is how you charge. These 4 elements are the only things that matter, and the only things that are going to make a difference when it comes to figuring out how much you can charge for your agency. And those are the dream outcome of your customer. What is it? Have you nailed it? Perceived likelihood of achievement, i.e. your ideal prospect. What is their perceived likelihood that you are going to get them that result? So this can come with guarantees, or this can come with case studies. So those are the 2 factors that change on this one. If you've got a high level of case studies, you don't have to have a crazy guarantee. If you have both, it's like, wow, bam, like it's insane. But you don't have to have both. If you have really high level of case studies, you don't necessarily need to have really great guarantee. Anyway, time delay. How long is it going to take? Like, it can't take a month anymore. It has to be quick. Like, if they put there, as Alex Moses says, if they finish the call with you, pay your invoice, and their phone starts ringing within 30 minutes, well, that's obviously insane. That's time delay, and the shorter that, the better. And the last one is effort and sacrifice. If by doing what you're doing is going to cause massive amounts of effort from them, i.e. they have to do a check-in call with you every week, then it's not going to be particularly appealing, or it's going to be a detractor when it comes to trying to get them over the line. So I've given you an example. So dream outcome, for example, this one is 20k in new sales. Nice and simple. This could be something else. It could be 50,000 followers on TikTok. It could be 50 booked sales appointments, whatever it is. Perceived likelihood of achievement. Well, we've got 10 and 20 case studies from other companies within your niche saying they've made 50, 100, 200,000, or saying they've gained 50,000, 20,000, 100,000 followers, or whatever your particular product does or service does. Time delay. We deliver leads within 48 hours. Just pay the invoice today. Within 48 hours, you receive your first lead. Effort and sacrifice. There is none. We just need one 15-minute setup call with you on a Zoom call where we get access to a few things. That's it, done. And from there, we do absolutely everything. You don't even need to talk to us. You can send us a message if you have a question or an issue. So again, pretty high value in that equation. And then from this, understanding this, and you got to make sure you do one of these or do 5 of them if you want to, like, really figure this shit out. Like, do 5 of these and just have a test them, or see which one you think works the best and see which one's actually achievable. Remember, this has to be achievable for you. If you've never generated a client 20k in sales, then you can take a punt if you want, or you can do something that's maybe slightly more realistic. And now we're talking about risk models, okay? Because the element that people don't really talk about when it comes to agency pricing is risk models. And I've made this little graph here. On the left and the y-axis, we've got your price, and on the x-axis, we've got your level of risk. So if you're a retainer-only agency, you've got lower level of risk, you're not going to be able to charge as much. It's as simple as that. If you've got a high level of risk, that's called a performance-only agency, you can charge a heck of a lot more money. And we're going to go through some examples, but you can sit somewhere in the middle here, and we're going to go through a few examples of offers and how to kind of where the middle grounds lie in this kind of little keynote. But I'm going to show you one example of how this looks. So let's say, and this example is me displaying why you can charge so much more when your level of risk is so much higher, okay? So for example, let's say I approach you and I promise to deliver you £50,000 in sales within 30 days. And I give you 2 options to choose from. Option 1, you pay me £3,000 today and I don't guarantee you anything, okay? But I'm saying this is what I target, this is what my aim is, but I can't guarantee, but you only pay me £3,000. Okay, £3,000 for the potential to make £50,000, not bad. Option 2, you pay me nothing, 0. But once I hit that £50,000 in sales, as soon as I hit that £50,000 in sales, you pay me £10,000. So literally from 3,000 to 10,000, but you pay nothing up front. So there's zero risk for you. Which one are you going to take? Now, 90%, I know I've got experience doing this, 90% of people are going to take the second one. Big companies with lots of budget to spare and throw around who think, fuck it, I might as well try something, they might pay the 3,000, but most companies will rather pay the 10k for the prospect of getting the 50 without any risk. Most of them would say yes. And there are some alternatives or kind of caveats to this. So you obviously said you can combine these models. So for example, charging a setup fee and the remainder in the back end. So we're going to go through that in a minute. So kind of a split pricing, risk to pricing ratio. You can also leverage guarantees to justify charging up front. So you can charge up front if you have really good guarantees. And loads of companies do this. Like Alex Hormozy does this with his gym launch product. For example, if we don't deliver X, then we return all your money. And I'm not going to go into guarantees too much. You just need to read the book $100 million offers. It pretty much goes into all these guarantees and how to use them. It's going to explain it better than I possibly could. And then also, if you're selling leads, like you're selling leads or appointments, you can utilize performance pricing by only charging for a confirmed, for example, charging for a confirmed phone lead. And obviously that's harder to measure than just raw leads. You're going to have some sort of software or some kind of trust between you and the client. There's softwares out there called like LeadBite, for example, which will help you kind of do that. Or for only booking it for a booked sales appointment, and you can track this in a Google Sheet, and there is going to have to be some level of trust between you and the client. So a little bit more risky, but again, this is the whole point of what we're talking about. And then we're going to go into pricing and how to create your offer. Before you create your offer, you need to understand a few numbers. So these numbers are critical when it comes to actually, based on all this stuff, like figuring out how much to charge. So if you're delivering them 20k in new sales, how much are you going to charge for that? You need to kind of understand these numbers before you can. These numbers before you can figure that out. So you need to know average order value. That is how much money your client makes for every time a customer pays. Simple as that. You need to know lifetime value. That is if your company is if your client is a SaaS company, for example, or a subscription-based company. If the average customer pays £100, but they stay for 6 months, well then your AOV is 100, but your LTV is 600 because they stay for 6 months. So if they're a salon or a therapist or whatever it might be, you need to understand what their lifetime value is, and you ultimately need to base your pricing off of this LTV, not the AOV, because it does. You are bringing them a customer, which is going to make them that amount of money. Cost per lead is how much it's going to cost you to generate them a lead. You kind of need to know this. If you don't, you need to start testing and figuring it out because it's important. And you need to go with very conservative numbers. The highest is going to be based on numbers of that, because if you don't hit the lead cost per lead you expected, and you've sold them on £50 a lead, and you think it's going to cost you £20 a lead, but it ends up costing you £45 a lead, well then that's not great. So you need to make sure you understand that and go off worst case scenarios. CVR, conversion rate, we're not talking about landing page conversion rate here, we're talking about sales conversion. So if you send them 100 leads, how many are they going to close? They'll tell you one number, it's probably going to be lower. Okay, to understand that. They'll say, I'll close 1 in 3. Probably they're going to close 1 in 10. Okay, I would say our average conversion rate is anywhere from 7% to 20%. It depends on the product cost. The higher the cost of the product, the lower the conversion. Lower the cost of the product, the higher the conversion rate. So you need to understand what that conversion rate is. We've gone with the round number for my example, but make sure you know that. What you won't know it until you've experimented with the client. So your first client, it may need to be a bit more of an experimentation period, a free trial plus a back end or something, because you need to know that conversion rate. Cost per acquisition, how much is it going to cost you to acquire a customer? Okay, in advertising costs. So if you spend £1,000, how many customers do you get? If you spend 1,000 and you get them 2 customers, your CPA or cost per acquisition is £500. If you spend £1,000 and get them 10 customers, it's £100. Okay, I'm going to go over this in a sec. And then margin, one of the most important metrics is how much your customer makes after fixed costs, supply and fit. So if you've got a roofer, after they've paid their installer and they've paid they paid their fitters and they've paid for the materials, that will be their margin. For an e-commerce company, it's after they pay for shipping and product, that'll be margin. But if you ask a company what their margin is, 90% of the time they're going to be able to tell you at least a rough percentage. Most of them between 20 and 40%. So once you know that, you need to understand the CPA, which we talked about here, and we're going to go over how to understand the CPA. So that's cost per acquisition. It's CPL, how much it costs to get a lead, divided by their conversion rate. That's CPA. So if it costs you £30 to get a lead, they convert 25% of those leads into sales. Well, then it's £120. It's 30 times 25%, which is £120. So if you send them 4 leads, they close 1 deal. If it costs you to get 4 leads, it costs you £120. That's simple as that. And now you need to know your client's margin. So if your client's margin is 30% and their AOV is £3,000, then their margin is £900. So basically, if you send them a customer £3,000, they might think, great, but I'm only making £900 after I've paid for my fixed costs. So that is the metric really that you're basing this on. And that is where you're going to take your margin from. So when you deliver the work, that's where you're going to take your margin from. We're going to go into the details now. So I've pulled those stats through here. I'm going to give you 3 options of how you could price. So remember our cost per acquisition of advertising, £120. So if you're charging for adverts, so if you're paying for the client's ads, you need to factor that in. If you're paying for the ads and selling the leads, you need to factor that in. If you are the client's paying for the ads and you're charging per performance or per result, you need to factor that into the client's costs, obviously. So remember the margin's £900. So for example, option 1, monthly fee £1,500, ad spend £1,500. The client's total commitment is £3,000. It's a monthly fee. You're going to get them between 40 and 60 leads, 20 and 30 appointments, 5 and 15 orders. They pay the fee up front every month, and there's no guarantees. Okay, not particularly appealing, and your earnings from that would be £1,500 each fee, and your risk level would be pretty low. So the level of risk there is pretty low, but the level of reward is also pretty low. So option 2 is a kind of combination example. So setup fee £999, not bad. So slight reduction from the monthly fee. The ad spend is the client pays, obviously, same with this one, £1,500. Your performance fee is £150 per paid customer. So remember, they're making £900 for every customer you send them, but they're also paying for the ads. So you've got kind of factor that in, and their cost per acquisition, their anticipated, let's say, cost per acquisition is £120. So for every £900 they're making, they're paying £120 to ads, which obviously they're paying for on a monthly basis, but these are estimated numbers. It might not be exactly the same, but they're paying for the £120 ads, and they're paying you £150. So they're basically paying out almost 300 quid. So about a third of their kind of take-home pay or take-home profit or margin per sale. But they're paying a lower fee, so it's kind of a middle ground solution for them. So 40 to 60 leads, 20 to 30 appointments, 5 to 15 orders or sales, and you're guaranteeing them 5 sales, or they get the setup fee refunded to them. Okay, so it's a pretty good offer. So your earnings here could be between, depending on the 5 to 15 sales, could be between 1,750 or 3,250. It could be 999, it could be 0 if you don't deliver. So delivering is the most important part. Watch my videos about that. If you don't feel like you can deliver, you need to deliver. Obviously, it kind of goes without saying, but your earnings are decent. Risk level is medium. There's still risk there, okay? Option 3, this is like a crazy offer. Like 0 risk to the client. All the risk is with you. 0 setup fees, 0 monthly fees, 0 ad spends. There's no cost to the customer. I would always suggest taking some sort of deposit or something from them, but maybe like a £99 deposit, but just so you've got their payment on file. But they pay you £450 per paid customer, which is 50% of their margin. So they're paying you half of their profit margin, but they pay nothing up front. So 40 to 60 leads, 20 to 30 appointments, 5 to 15 sales. Guarantee, well, there is no guarantee. We don't get paid until you do that, is the guarantee. Your earnings will be between £2,250 to £6,750. So pretty crazy. But your level of risk is very, very high because you're taking all the risk. So hopefully that makes sense. And when you're pitching these to clients, you got to understand this is all you need. This and case studies and you talking is all you need. You don't need some fancy proposal. Like, we've never really had a fancy proposal. We have a kind of like a demo, which I go through exactly how it works, and I go through the examples, case studies. I show them some examples of what we do, but ultimately all they care about is the result. So when you're pitching a client at the end, you don't need loads of fluff. Something like this, a really simple way of them seeing how it's going to look. I would maybe add in underneath this something like projected revenue. So if they're making £3,000 off of one sale, it would be like 15 grand to 45 grand or whatever this is, and you pop that at the bottom of these ones. So risk 0, something like that. You can kind of add in some prospective revenue targets into this, but otherwise keep it very, very, very simple. And that is all. That is it. That's all I've got to show today. Hopefully you guys found that useful. As always, if you guys want more content or what content you guys want, I am working on a sales video. I'm just recording some of my sales calls, and I'm going to kind of make a little compilation of sales calls or something, and just walk you guys through our sales process. But any questions you guys have, anything you guys want, leave it in the comments so I know. Follow me on Instagram if you want. It's the Samuel Darby, and you can also join my free newsletter, which I mentioned at the beginning, which is completely for free. I plan on keeping it free forever. So that's all for today's video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. It helps the algorithm, helps me get more followers. I can't believe how crazy it's been. I've gone from like 0 to like 4,000 subscribers in like 2 weeks, which is absolutely crazy. Hopefully we guys can get to, my plan is to get to 10k by Christmas. I don't know if it's possible, but if we can hit 10k by Christmas, I'll be very happy. It would be the best Christmas present I could have asked for. So thanks so much, guys. I will see you in the next video. And again, make sure you like and subscribe.